always a bummer when our snacks finish. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you how you can get endless snacks. This way you won't have to worry about it finishing, and you always get to enjoy it when you need it. Let's see how we got this effect. Sit behind a table and place the tripod directly in front of you. We do not want the tripod to move its position, so make sure it's nice and steady and that nothing comes in contact with it. Another thing is to set your camera to manual so that we don't get light changes when we're filming. Now sit in position, pretend like you're about to enjoy your favorite snack. Try to pour it into a bowl, see that there's nothing in there. And then we're going to place our elbow on the table so that we have a nice steady position for our box. Tap on the box a bunch of times. Then we're going to ask our friend to pass the snack through this tube. I made a tube out of paper, just stuck a bunch of papers together. And we want to make sure that the opening of this tube is small enough so that we don't quite see it on either side, something that can just be in the center, and we can easily mask out. While our friend is pouring out the snack, we want to make sure that we have our box in a nice and steady position. We don't want any rotations on the box or movement. That will just make our job harder. So your friend is going to walk in with this tube behind the box as you're holding it, and they're going to transfer the snack from the opening and into the bowl from behind the box. While your friend is pouring the snack, try not to move and to hold the box in its original position. When they're finished, they can slowly move out of frame. We also need an empty shot for this effect, and this is going to help me with the masking. In total, we got 2 videos. The first one is the empty shot, and the second one is our acting video. Now let's go into Filmora and see how we can put it all together. Import your raw footage into the project, and then we're going to drag it onto the timeline. So over here, I'm craving a snack, but then I realized that there's nothing left. So then I tap on the box, and my friend shows up with this tunnel, which she is dropping the snack through. Before that, we need a freeze frame of this section. So in the beginning where we have a clear cut, we're going to right click, speed, add freeze frame. Make a cut at the end of the freeze frame and then bring the normal footage back up. We can increase the length for as much as we want because that's how freeze frames work. Just make sure to drag the edge here so that you do not get the normal video. Now we're going to let this play until we have our snack. Hit M on your keyboard so we can mark out this frame. Once we're here, we can double click on this video, go to mask. The reason why we're choosing the single line mask is because that is the shape of our box. If our snack had another shape, then things would have gotten a little complicated. So if you choose a snack where the box is pretty sharp, then you're good to go. Click on this once, and we're just going to match this with the line that's over here. Drag the handle right here, and we can just rotate it until we're perfectly aligned with the box. You can click right here, go to zoom level, and then zoom into your project. This way we can see exactly how much rotation you need. You can also select the mask and use your left and right arrow keys to make a more precise movement. Once we have it aligned with the edge of the box, we can now add a little bit to the blur strength, and then we're going to make our first keyframe. So we're going to be moving in this video, so it's really important to keyframe each of the mask position. This way we're going to make it look as if there isn't a tunnel on the other side, and that the snack is suddenly showing up because we tapped on it 3 times. Now move into your next frame, and we're just going to reposition the mask every time we move. Click on it once and use the handle. You don't need to create keyframes for every frame, just for the frames where the edge of that tunnel is showing up. So if you went forward and you saw that you didn't need any keyframes, you can actually just create one at the current position, and in the next one we can just rotate it. So it's not exactly a frame by frame thing, it's mostly about when the edge of that tube is showing up. Use your left and right arrow keys to make the perfect position. Do this until the snack has completely moved towards your bowl. So now when we play the video, nothing is showing up from the other side. Before the point when we're actually pouring the cereal, we're going to make a cut and then just move the mask out of the way. So go to mask. We're just going to move it out using position X. So now the mask will only show up when we're about to pour the cereal. Go towards a frame where we can see the difference in lighting, then double click and we're just going to work with the color. Go to tone and reduce the brightness. Hit OK once you're finished, and now that's looking a lot better. So once we have this effect, I'm going to cut the video when the cereal has finished pouring. Now it's time to export the video, and that way we can finish things off by adding some additional effects. Once you have exported the video, bring it back into the project. Now clear the timeline by hitting this icon and also get rid of the markers. Right click on any marker and then delete all markers. Bring in your base video. Now we're just going to change the dimension of our project. So go to File, Project Settings. We're going to change this into Business. Hit OK, and now we get something like this. Double click on your video, go to Transform and increase the scale. Make sure that you are at the center of the video the whole time. So if needed, we can use position X to bring ourselves towards the center. Check your video and make sure that you're at the center the whole time. And now we're going to create some keyframes to divert the attention of our audience and bring it into the most important section. So double click on your video, go to Animation, move to the start of your timeline, customize, and create your first keyframe. And depending on what's happening in the video, we're going to be creating different keyframes. So right over here where I'm rubbing my belly, I'm going to zoom in towards my belly. Zoom in and use position Y. Once I'm going to grab this cereal box, I'm going to zoom right out and then bring my position Y back to the way it was. So now I'm just reading the back of this cereal box, so once again I can zoom in towards myself. When we are pouring the cereal, we can kind of rotate the video too, so that we get a fun effect. Right when I have my cereal at this angle, we're going to increase the scale, but at the same time increase the rotation. So when we play this back, we can see that we're moving with the cereal, and that's going to give us a fun effect. We're going to rotate until we realize that there's nothing in the box. So we can grab this guy forward and then just zoom out into the original number. And when we are shaking the box, we can use position Y to kind of move the video up and down with the box. Right before shaking the box, we're going to zoom in, and that way we're going to create a keyframe. Then when we go down, we're going to move this guy down as well. So we're normal, and then when we bring the box down, the camera is moving down with it. When we bring it back up, we're going to move up with position Y. Now we're going to zoom in again, but this time we're going to sync it with every tap that we do. When I'm done tapping, I'm just going to zoom out to the original number because we're about to reveal the magic of this box. When the product is about to flow out, we can once again add another keyframe. Now go to the effects menu and we're going to add some color grading. I will go to the LUT section and place this right above. You can also change the coloring of your footage. Double click on the video and then go to color. Here we can just work with the contrast, brightness, and all the other sliders. Hit OK once you're finished, and now we're done with the effect. And now you have mastered the skill of having endless snacks. Let's work together and create the same style.